What's up, YouTube? Your boys are back. Wise guys in the building. Episode number, I don't remember the goddamn number, but man, before you get started, like, subscribe to the channel, and we love the fact that y'all subbing right now, and we've not been putting a lot of content out. We're gonna change that. We're gonna put a lot more stuff out. So just ask y'all right now, man. Hook y'all boys up, man. Put us on game. Give us a sub. Do the notification bell. You know the YouTube stuff. So let's get into it, man. It's and we've had like a personal situation of like, should we cover Kevin Samuels? And because everybody's doing it right now, as y'all see. What I am seeing is a lot of different age brackets are doing Kevin Samuels right now, and some may have perspective that's different than others may have. And from two successful men making six figures and more, we just feel like we want to tell you from a perspective of a 30-year-old plus man. 85, what's up, Tracy? You know what I'm saying? We want to tell it in a perspective that successful men understand, and if it trickles down to other people, cool. Sammy, what you got for us, bro?
Hey man, just happy to be here and we back at it. So glad that people still rocking with us. I keep reading the comments and they get interested more.
Yeah, they do. Every time. That's a fact.
Yeah. So I'm more excited about doing more content and dropping it for them so we can get more interaction. Tracy, what up?
There you go, man. There you go. And Tracy, I appreciate you, brother, of joining the cast. And we didn't even intend this to be interactive, but if y'all interacting, I'm not gonna deny you. You know what I'm saying? Like I really appreciate y'all patronizing the page. Real talk.
Absolutely.
All right. So with that being said, let's go into the video. We're gonna comment. I mean, if it go an hour, go an hour. We're gonna try to keep it on 30 minutes, man. Thank y'all for rocking the podcast. Without further ado, let's roll. Well, I gotta do the share screen stuff. I gotta we gotta get some assistance, man.
Yeah, it's cool. We'll upgrade soon.
There we go, man. We upgrade like I don't say like Beyonce, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know a dude that want to upgrade like a lady, but can you see the screen, bro?
I can see it.
All right, cool.
Yep. I've been here for a few minutes. Hey guys, how we doing?
Good. We're good, Kevin. How are you?
Good. So the ladies are in the middle. Her name is Sable.
Amanda, but close enough.
Amanda. The woman to her right, your name is?
Adriana,
and the woman to your left?
Janina.
Okay, one of the things I kept hearing, my name is Kevin Samuels, by the way, nice to meet you. One of the things I kept hearing is the notion of fairness. Why is that so important to you, Amanda?
I hate to admit it, but I do. Like, I'm half a man. I'm just a pretty girl. And I don't think that I should have to accept less in life because I was born with different equipment. I think that's bullshit.
Well, if you're half a man, then you should understand this full concept that men don't care about fair.
All right, so let's get into this the right way. Let's start with funny. Now, I have watched this already, and I thought that meant the transgender. I think from the commentary around it, I think she just means she's like tough, like a man. So, it put me in a different mind state when I first watched it, man. What's your reaction so far to what she's saying? I'm born with different.
She confirmed that she transgender right there. She just said, I'm half a man. She said, just because I was born with different equipment doesn't mean that and I'm a pretty girl. She said she was born with different equipment.
Fair enough. So I'm still like, I don't understand this in its totality. Let me say that. Yeah. So, okay. So moving forward, let's assume she's a transgender woman talking. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. She said half a man and I was born with different equipment.
She doubled down on it. I feel that. Okay. Yeah. All right. But some people are evasive like that. So, but okay, fair enough. Let's keep it rolling.
Of course.
I don't really care about fair either.
No. Men don't care about fair, or else we wouldn't conquer other people.
Oh, here we go with the commercial shit.
This spring, check out a new Hyundai SUV. It's the upgrade.
Man, we gonna get our production up, man.
Yeah.
We too busy guys.
Only at the Hyundai Spring Upgrade event.
We're doing our best. You're welcome, Hyundai.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on select vehicles.
You're welcome, Hyundai.
Yeah, they got two.
All right.
European descent. Looks like you're from. You looks like you're from. Your people are from the Caucasus Mountains. European descent. So
I
huh?
I am very white. Yes.
That's fine. And some of them, and there's a lot, and between a lot of warring tribes, Germania, the Franks. If we cared about fairness, we would just let everybody stay on their land. Vikings wouldn't have raided and pillaged. England would have stayed on its island. Scotland would have been all right. Ireland would have been all right. Matter of fact, Hong Kong wouldn't have been a British protectorate for how many years? Oh, until the last, 30 or 40? Men don't care about fair. We conquer. It's winners and losers. Right? You're half a man.
You about
I
to
didn't
lose
know that only men were part of conquering.
All right. So here's where the disconnect starts. Here's where the disconnect starts, man. So when you start to put things in plain terms, you're gonna lose a lot of women. Well, people in general, but women in particular, because in history, men conquer. Women don't conquer. Women live in the atmosphere that men create. And we just have infinite examples of that. And that's just reality. So again, I think this starts the bridge of the divide. Sammy, what you got?
Oh, I agree with you. People don't like reality. So when you put things in terms of reality, like you said, that's where the disconnect begins. It's like, no, well, what about this? And then you start speaking on semantics and stuff like that don't really matter. I feel like that's where this is about to go, but let's see.
Yeah, because reality sucks. Reality it holds the light to your understanding of things, and you may not like how it shakes out. So let's keep it rolling, though. Let's see how it rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, name me some great female warriors that have dominated the planet.
Well, I mean, I'm learning new education here, which is only men.
You're learning new education.
It's kind of fitting, but okay.
Yeah, great, profound statement.
Conquer.
No,
I mean, that's what you're telling me, right?
no. Well, see, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to switch that. I'm asking about fairness, and I said about fairness. Why is fairness so important? You said because you're half a man.
Because if you expect something of me, I should be allowed to expect the same of you. And if you can't offer me that, you don't deserve to be in my life.
But that has nothing to do with fairness.
It has everything to do with fairness.
No, fairness means you get an opportunity. Fairness doesn't mean you get an outcome. Oh my God. Get an interview.
Awkward silence.
Except from the guys.
Yeah, because they know what time it is, man. And again, ladies, y'all got to understand that men learn this at a younger age. You learn real quick about who gets the girls, who is on A team, who's on B team. You learn pecking order real quick. And you learn to navigate in the space that you're best at. And I think as women, they don't do you in the same way. So some of y'all learn this shit 25, 30, and it hits you a little harder because you've never been told this, like not in the same fashion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where we see this permeate in society, where it's like a ton of bricks dropped on your head. And it's like something that you should have been told at 14, at 12, when we were told this shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It's hard to recover from that. Like you say, when that ton of bricks hit you, it's hard to recover.
It's hard.
Up until that point, in the most, I guess, when you forming who you gonna be, in those years of your life, you've been told one thing. So to try to retransform yourself, it totally shakes your foundation, you know what I'm saying, of who you are. And a lot of people just can't recover from that. So people been telling you this your whole life. And now everybody else in the real world is telling you, nah, this is what it is. You be more likely to stay over here because it's comfortable over here. This is what you know. But this ain't changing. Like, this is still the real world over here. So when you accept it or not, it's going to be what it's going to be. So I think that's where a lot of people get messed up, and that's where we at right now. So it's interesting to see where this is gonna go.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with that being said, let's keep the train rolling.
Interview, not guaranteed a job.
No, you're not. But I work very, very hard to ensure that I keep it.
Well, if that's the case, you should. If that's the case,
I ain't gonna lie. Spoiler: we're gonna stop this video a lot.
Right?
If that's the case, then if that's the case, you should be able to secure the things you want. So you should have no problem.
Obviously not. Not when men are out here believing like you don't have to be fair.
Well, those two things can exist in the same place.
Women haven't even been part of human history. It's just men, and all we care about is conflict.
Well, no. You just said you work very hard, so you should get the outcomes. See, if hard work was all that was required, then we would almost be guaranteed. Hard work gets you a ticket to the dance. It doesn't guarantee you the top spot. How many? Who lost the Super Bowl, guys?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Can you say they worked hard this year?
Very hard.
Number two. Men don't worry about fairness. We worry about winning. And to the victor go the spoils.
I gotta stop it right there, man. That is prophetic, man. So Sammy, you know, just like I did, man. Let's take it back to high school.
Right.
Let's take it to when you're on varsity. Everybody says what before the season?
We're gonna win state.
We're gonna win state. Everybody says we're gonna win state. State down. Everybody says this shit. Whether you got a salt grain chance, a mustard seed chance, or you got stacked odds. Everybody think they're gonna win state day one when you practice.
Yep.
But you find out real quick. I mean, this is how we work.
Might not be all year. That's tough, man.
Tell me I'm lying. Everybody think they're gonna win state, but then you learn real quick with the real basketball climate. It's like, football, whatever sport you played. Again, fairness gets you in the dance, meaning fairness got you on varsity. But once you're on varsity, what you gonna do when you're on varsity? Because you're going against everybody's fair when it's no more buffers about fair. It's just about blood sport at that point. And that's how the dating market is, guys. Everybody think they're going to get married and be successful and have 2.5 kids and what have you. Everybody thinks that. So the fair is you got an opportunity to pair bond with somebody to do that. Reality is it's in every state there's going to be, per league designation, there'll be one state champion. That's reality. So y'all got to understand this shit, man. But when y'all get in this dating world and not be putting yourself in a vulnerable state that you cannot recover from mentally. Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, fairness got you an opportunity to get on varsity. Hard work makes you make the team. Now, winning the state championship is totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like, but fairness is getting you a shot to be on the team. Hard work is gonna get you on the team, and that's where it stops. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all you're owed for your hard work. But anything after that, it comes with teamwork and by chance. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't decide that alone. You just got to have a great team. Just like in life, if you want to succeed, if you got to put a business together, you're gonna need a great team to do that. You know what I'm saying? And be successful. But it's fair that you get a chance to go file your LLC. But if you don't do nothing after that, that's life. You know what I'm saying? What you do after that is on you. So that's where it gets kind of screwed up. But we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, that's where it gets dicey because you gotta start owning some shit past that point, and a lot of people struggle at this point. Let's move on.
Just like, you know what? How many times you've gotten to a club into VIP for free when some ugly chicks had to pay full price?
Man, another video. Holy cow, man!
They get even like double ads on this,
bro. Sorry, y'all.
Spring upgrade event.
Get 0%.
Thank y'all for rocking with us, though, man. It's temporary.
Appreciate it.
There we go. We back. Holy cow!
Is that my fault?
No. I've asked how many times it happened before you go down that path.
I mean, plenty of times in Miami.
Exactly, but that's not fair, is it?
Well, please don't forget I'm not from here.
But that's not the point, ma'am. That's not fair, is it?
I also don't care about those things.
But so you only care about fairness when it doesn't benefit you.
I just don't go to clubs that often.
So this shows the disconnect. He's introducing a hypothetical that you understand, and you are trying to be evasive and say, "Well, I don't go to clubs," but you understand the scenario. whether you don't go to another club in your life, you've experienced that dynamic, so you understand that exists. So it just shows this is a deflection tactic. You got anything, bro?
No, like you said, she's totally avoiding the situation as is. I'm not from here. Yeah, it's happened, but I don't care about that. So since you don't care about it, that makes it not.
It don't exist.
Yeah. So, but yeah, let's move on.
Irrelevant. And so she's doing this because she wants to get to what she wants to talk about. That's why she's doing this. Let's proceed.
But that's not the point. I asked you, how many times have you gone to a club where you got in and free where ugly chicks or less attractive chicks had to pay? And you know that's happened. You didn't.
And I want to point this out too. I'm sorry to keep stopping it. Notice what the other two women are doing. They're soaking this game up. And her ass is ready to, she's not active listening. And guys, and this is called having soft skills. They're listening so they can take it in. I'm a salesman. Sammy's been a salesman. You listen so you can respond accordingly to get to an end result. She's not listening to take things in. She's waiting for her turn to talk. Notice the dichotomy of the three.
You didn't say, excuse me, sir. Even though I'm attractive, I demand that you charge me full price. That's fair, right?
Okay, so because I
fair?
Into places and get
that fair?
That means that I should get
fair. Before we go there, I'll answer your question if you at least answer mine. Is that fair?
Life isn't fair.
Well, if that's the case, you accept it in the sexual marketplace too.
It doesn't mean I have to accept other people's bullshit.
No. Well, see, the thing is, ma'am, what you've proven, like many feminists and many women, you're okay with the double standards that benefit you. But the ones you don't like, you just throw at the wind, you use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right to deflect and dismiss guys who are normally intimidated by this thing. I'm not. I'm just challenging your position. You're okay with it not being fair when it benefits you.
You're oversimplifying a very complex situation.
No.
So this is something that a lot of women struggle with. Men, generally speaking, are solution-based thinkers, meaning we break it down to its simplest form and let's work to a solution. Now, all men do this? No. I struggle talking to other men with real life situations, and they do the same thing this woman is doing. You understand what I'm saying? But dudes are always square, as they say. They understand, okay, let's condense it down to its rawest form and let's move to a solution. She fundamentally does not understand that. So that's where the disconnect is, again, to reiterate. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, didn't that just happen like a day or two ago in Hoop Jordan?
But what?
When trying to speak to somebody, a guy on this yeah. We'll get to that later though. But she's totally flipped now from life it needs to be fair to life's not fair. And like what do you, so if you believe life's not fair, then you need to apply that across the board. Not only, like you said, not only where it benefits you. And that's what that's a human thing. People gonna take what benefits them, but she's struggling with that concept right now. And it seems like she rather, like you said, she's waiting to have a response versus really taking in what he's saying and process it. She's not processing it. She's just looking to see what she's gonna say next. And the other women, they looking uncomfortable. Like you said, notice how one of them is leaning away from her. The other one is more, you know what I'm saying? Like
that posture don't lie, bro.
Right. The one to her right, she looked like she like, okay, let me see, because he gonna slip up somewhere. The other one like, he sound kind of right. Like you can see this is communication without saying something, so just look at them and you can see what's going on, like you said. But it's about to get interesting. Go ahead.
It's about to get interesting, so let's keep it rolling.
No, it's not really complex. There are no such thing as loyal. The concept of a loyal, highly effective, competitive alpha is a female notion.
And have to continue to compete with other pretty girls because men are too simple to stick with one.
Well, how about this? The kind of men you're talking about are simple enough to make the light you live in, the air conditioning, all the stuff that you, hold on, excuse me, ma'am. The simple men built the world that you use.
I built my own world. So
no, ma'am, you use the world we built. No, ma'am, you use the world men built. Name me 5 great female inventors. I'll give you what?
Oh, man, it's about to be cricket time. You know what time it is. And that's in so Kevin's kind of been on this pretty tough. If you've been following his content, and the reality is, again, men build the infrastructure that you survive in. So a lot of women have the misconception that, oh, well, I make good money, I got my job, I do my own thing. But again, who builds your house? Who puts your electricity in place? Who runs the power into your place? Who runs the plumbing? Who does all these things that you take as, you know what I mean, a given because you paid the money for it? But who puts that together? And these are jobs that men do. And that's where the disconnect is, because you never thought that deep on that. So I just want to say that before we move forward.
You got it.
What, Madam Curie?
I can't believe you. So you're telling me that men and
no, ma'am. I just asked you a question, and you just you go see. You're answering questions with questions. You're talking about building. Name me 5 great female inventors or builders. Madam Curie.
5 inventors or builders. That's a really great question. It
really is.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, also I don't remember the lady's name, but there was a bunch of buildings in Miami.
Go on and do it. Go on and do it. She's afraid.
Translation. Damn, I need to buy some time where I can try to think, and I ain't got shit. Damn.
Let's Google real quick.
That's a really good question. Oh man, Jen is so funny to watch, man. Let's proceed on.
Hey, go on and do it. Go on and get on in there, baby girl. You got it.
Miami was established by a woman.
Congratulations. But the Miami, the land was established by, but this country was first landed by who? Men or women?
Men.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
And see, the thing is, I've done this show about survival, and you can go back to Bear Grylls Island number 2. Man, you can only be a feminist in a first world country.
And then of course, the commercial break. Thank y'all for going through the commercial breaks.
No matter what hair growth products you use,
We're going to try to get some better production at some point. But I mean, hey,
hair isn't improving. I think it's.
We only can do what we can do.
I think it's some stuff we can pay for. We'll just pay for it.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a hierarchy of needs. You are correct. We
don't need you.
College.
We don't need you. You need us.
Great. I don't need you either.
No, we don't need you for survival. You need us for survival.
Okay, so
what I'm trying to get you to understand, ma'am, is you have a right to your opinions.
Obviously, I don't have a right to anything.
Well, no, you have a right to believe what you want, but the thing is, you're not allowed to the outcome. You're allowed to have an opinion, just like men are allowed to have an opinion. And you don't have to compete or deal in a situation that you deem is unfair, but you can't complain about the rules that are already set. You like the rules that benefit you, getting into the club for free, but you don't like the rules that benefit men. High value men have the leverage.
You because I'm 31 years old and I'm getting a little fed up of these men kind of attacking me. I do not go to clubs anymore. So please stop with your double standard bullshit. I work in a man's world, and if anything, I've had to work 5 times as hard in this world as a man to get where I am.
That's what she wanted to say.
Yeah.
So that's that victim shit. She wanted to say how much of a victim she is. Again, we don't know if she's transgender or not.
Definitely.
But that's what she wanted to say the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she wanted to say. She wanted to be like how hard it is being me. Stop making this analogy that I clearly understand, but no, it doesn't apply to my right now life. But you understand the goddamn analogy, and that's where delusional women like her refuse to understand the totality of things because you want to play semantics where the semantics don't even apply to the whole. And that's what she's doing because that's her way to try to stay vindicated in the whole discussion, if that makes sense. Go ahead.
No, I seen that coming. And now she's fired up. So she's not gonna do anything else. But yeah, it's funny when people say what they've done that's so many times harder than anybody else, like what they've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you make that claim confidently. Like, how do you stand there and say, I've worked 5 times as hard as men to do it, to be where I'm at, and you have no idea what any other man has done unless you with that man. But what's funny to me is that you were, or maybe, I don't know, you were a man at one point. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is where she can say, you know what, as a man, I didn't have to work this hard as a woman. So I give her that. If she's saying that when I was a man, I didn't have to work this hard, I had to work 5 times harder as a woman to do what I did as a man, then I can definitely give her that. That's the only way she can say that or quantify it, but I give her that. And I don't think that's where she's going with it, but I will give her that. So we can move forward.
All right. I'm going to say fuck what she talking about. Go ahead.
So well, look at hold on now. Since you want to tell me you've had to, you're 31.
And I want to say this too. She come in with this vulgar language to try to think that's like, because she's used to throwing her weight around in the room, so she's trying to do this to try to kind of stifle Kevin, and she didn't do her homework because you gotta know who you're talking to. Some people you can't throw your weight around in a certain way because they know judo. Judo means basically it's not karate, it's not offensive, it's defensive. Judo is you throw this, okay, I react off your action. Kevin Samuels is really good at judo. So you didn't do your research. So you cannot come with him with offensive stuff, think you're gonna stifle him. What you're supposed to do, if you're smart, is you take in what he says and you challenge something he said earlier. Because Kevin Samuels has contradicted himself a lot. But if you don't actively listen, and I'm not gonna give y'all the game of what he's done that for, because I think overall he's doing good work.
Right.
But if me and him had a debate, I would definitely reference points where you contradicted your own shit. Because most people do that. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm a salesman, so I always actively listen. And somebody can do it to me because sometimes I may forget some shit I said. But she's so emotional that she's going with offense, and you're not going to beat him with offense. You're going to beat him with defense. And I want to drop that jewel to y'all as we keep going.
1 year old and had to work in a man's world. That's a privilege. Here's the thing, ma'am. You say the problems with men. The only one that's complaining about the double standard harshly is you.
Yes,
but it benefits you too.
Benefits.
Well, here's the thing, ma'am. If you don't like, ma'am, you're a competent woman, correct?
Okay, so I should quit my job and never.
No, you should build Amazonia, and make it the female utopia that benefits women.
I probably should after listening.
Well, then go ahead.
Agree with you.
Then you'd have to actually build something.
There you go.
You'd have to put your mouth where you'd have to put your brawn where your mouth is.
I don't understand what you're saying again.
I'm saying that you came at me with the same line. I've had to put up at 31 years old and deal with men's bullshit. You're living in a first world country. You're in Miami, one of the most posh places on the planet, complaining about double standards that you participate in. The nerve.
I corrected you that I don't go to clubs, so you're
okay, ma'am. I just gave an example. You've been to clubs. I didn't say you continue to go. That's not the point now, is it? But see, that's another way of you trying to get me online and then correcting me because I'm a dumb man. I get the point.
No, you're very rude and very aggressive.
No, I'm very direct. And when you were doing this to the men, you had no problem showing your dick. I'm just acknowledging your
Oh.
Man, shout out to my girl Jennifer Giles, man. Giles Infinite for the Michael Jackson cap, man. Giles Infinite on Instagram, man. Follow my girl, man. She laced me up with this. I feel like y'all saw that when I laughed my ass off. I believe that comment. Where is that? Y'all know where I'm going,
bro. I think we should let it play some more.
All right,
let it play.
Why? You're a tough woman.
Why? Why should I?
Why? Because I'm just giving what you give. I'm reflecting back what you give to people. But see, the thing is, you're okay giving this to people. Okay. I'm just challenging what you think.
These were my opinions when I came in here. I'm the one that presented.
So again, man, I'm a salesman. I always read body language. Look at her. She's dismissive. She's stifled. When she does not have anything, she starts to look around. She starts to look dismissive because she's trying to regroup. I want you again to watch the dichotomy of her and the other two women on her flanks. Watch that shit.
Look at her.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. What you got?
Look at the one to her left, and she's like, "Girl, you need to chill. Look like chill out." The other one, she waiting on him to slip up somewhere, but she
can step in. Absolutely.
Yeah, she ain't found a spot yet, but she ain't found somewhere yet. So she just waiting.
That's a very astute assertion because homie, I mean, baby with the Miami shirt, she taking game in, and if you notice, she's leaning away from her, meaning like I don't really agree with you with what you're talking about. But I mean, we're girls, but I'm not gonna say anything verbally. But her nonverbals, watch that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just listened to you for 2 nights say these things, and I'm just talking to you one-on-one, and you're not backing down. I'm just challenging what you say, man.
To a bunch of weak ass men tell me that I'm
Shame tactics, man. Sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. We can't see. So notice her buzzwords. This is something that when you're punching up, as we call it, when you're punching up, you are trying to throw insults to try to get leverage in the totality of the situation, and that's literally her only approach to this. I want to say that as we move forward. I'm sorry, I keep stopping y'all. I'm gonna let it run.
I'm not attractive and I'm not this and I'm not that because I am not going to back down and listen to somebody.
Okay, are you saying the men in the room with you are a bunch of weak ass men?
If you think that I should have to accept less than
no,
you,
ma'am, I don't think you should have to do anything you don't want to. You're a free person. But I'm trying to understand, who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
The Amazonia, because
who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
All right, it's about to be another ad, y'all. Y'all bear with us.
Nothing means more to our Sit and Sleep family than earning the trust of your family. That's why you can count on Sit and Sleep
Lord have mercy.
to help you shop safe.
All right, here we go. We back. This is funny as hell.
Who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
What did I just say? Do I need
didn't hear you because you kind of start talking over me. So could you repeat it? A bunch of weak ass men doing what?
Yes. When somebody sits here and tells me I need to accept an unfair situation, that if we applied it to anything else in life other than men and women, wouldn't be accepted by everybody in this room. But you're going to tell me that, I'm going to tell you that's bullshit. And that's not fair.
Okay. Can I give a response?
There's a million issues in our culture and society today that people are fighting for fairness. But yet I'm sitting here saying, hey, I'm allowed to expect it too. And I'm going to be attacked and told.
Okay. Can I respond now?
Different.
Okay. No, let me tell you something. First of all, men don't worry about fair. The sexual marketplace is not fair. All is fair in love and war. It's not fair. There are guys out there that you wouldn't give the time of day who could have a heart of gold because they don't hit your mark. Oh, no, ma'am. I'll let you speak.
You don't know that.
No, I know that you don't give every man a chance is what I do know.
You don't. Well, actually, you don't know that at all.
Okay, are you saying that you are the one female on the planet that will give every man who wanted you a shot?
No, I am not.
Okay, then I can assume that was correct. Let's move on. Let's not get lost in. Okay, that's a deflection. Let's not get lost in that. You're talking about unfairness. Where in the world is it fair like you need it to be?
Is it fair for you here in America?
No, ma'am. I asked you, where in the world is it fair? Like I'm not
questioning with a question. When people do that, they have no argument.
Full of shit.
I want to say that, bro. You have no argument if you consistently answer questions with a question. You have no argument.
I'm not complaining about it. I deal with it. I deal with the unfairness and overcome it because I'm a man and I can deal with it. And I'm asking you, where is this place? Where is this ideal place? Where's the ideal model?
It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
There's 3 women here sitting like here, never wanting to go on a date again.
Well, no. How about not wanting to go on a date? What's happened in this world more than anything else is mankind has learned how to get along with each other since recorded history. But around the 60s, when the National Organization for Women, the ERA, Phyllis Schlafly, she was on our side. When all this stuff came in, feminism, second wave, feminism, I'm a feminist. I believe in feminism. Feminism is about choice.
So you really
Excuse
are.
me, ma'am. Feminism in its true form is about choice.
Yeah, we don't have a choice right now with what's
No,
going
you
on.
have a choice. She just exercised one right now. It got too hot. She left.
Shouldn't be
fair. It's about choice. If a woman wanted to be a housewife, she could do it. If she wanted to be a business person, she could do it. See, the choice was about all black people wanted was a choice, freedom to have an equal shot, not equal outcomes. Men accept these things. You don't hear men complaining about fair. If Donovan and I were playing a game of football or video game, if he was kicking my fucking ass.
Okay, before he gets to this point, go ahead, Sammy.
Where'd she go? Where'd she go?
She had to go reset. She got her ideals challenged, and she don't like it, so she took her ball and went home.
But did she say that it's nowhere on this planet that's fair? Like she has this idea of it's nowhere that exists, but she's still complaining about it not being fair. What is her argument? I guess I got confused now. I'm confused on what the problem is. She understands that it's nowhere that's fair.
Has she answered a single question?
She has not. I guess that's why I'm confused. I guess that's why I'm confused. Yeah.
Yeah, so. that make you and her together. Both of you. And she her more ways than one. And I'll leave it at that. Let's proceed on.
Zach, what up?
They sit up and say, it's not fair. My controller's not working. The game is rigged. That's not fair. You're better. I would have to just take my ass whooping, take my L's and get better. That's what men do.
That you guys choose to be this way, and we don't want to choose to be that way. We want to be different. We don't want somebody that's going to cheat. We don't want anybody we want someone.
Okay, so what she's representing is the crux of their argument. The argument is cheating. That's what the whole premise of this whole thing is, and you will see it manifest time after time. So this one caveat of cheating is to them the whole discussion. Whereas you don't understand in a relationship, there's so many aspects besides the cheating factor that lead to the thriving of the relationship. But you're going to see over and over, this is the thing that they cannot get over. And I want y'all to understand that as we move forward.
Yeah, it's because it's not fair. That's why. They don't understand that. They think that, well, I didn't cheat, so why would he cheat? Like that's the only reason why people would cheat on you. Yeah. It's very nuanced, and they don't deal in that. Yeah, they deal straight.
No nuance. Yeah. Which is funny because they understand cheating or not cheating in a this or that format.
Right.
When you ask about fair and not fair, well, you got to factor in all this, and you got to think about that.
It's convenient. It's convenient.
There you go. There you go. Let's move forward.
Yep.
Someone that's going to be faithful. Why do we have to settle for these types of things that you're saying?
Well, first of all, you don't have to settle for anything. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. But what also does not have to happen is men don't have to be counter to their nature to make you happy.
And that's okay. So what's the issue?
The issue is that men are not the ones complaining about the state of relationships and dating as much as women are. Women wanted freedom of choice. Women wanted to be able to have sex with who they wanted to, marry who they want to, love who they want to, work where they want to, not work where they want to, go every place that men could go. You are the most free, most liberated group of women that ever existed on the human history, and yet you're the most unhappy. 1 in 4 out of you on some sort of psych meds. Women are the marital rate is dropping with modern women. What else do you want men to do? We've civilized the world in general. We don't even have wars. You can do whatever you want to. And you're still not happy with the world that men built, telling us that we're not good enough because we don't move like women. We're not going to.
I just feel like you guys don't put in effort.
It's always, I just feel. Yeah, but I think it's always that. And ladies.
It ain't I think, it's I feel, like you said.
Yeah, I feel. It's always I feel. One of my personal friends, and I keep her name out of this, we've had a discussion, and she's a very attractive woman. And she was like, so why am I not getting results that I deserve? And she moved out here to Los Angeles, where I am too. She's from Texas, just like me. And I gave her a straight lace down thing. I'm like, all this I feel shit you say, dudes don't give a shit about that. So you got to get yourself into the game, man. You can feel however you want to feel. Everybody's entitled to feel how they feel. But like Kevin Samuels always says, the world does not owe you understanding, meaning you can feel that way. Doesn't mean I have to reciprocate off your feeling. I'm not obligated to do that. Go ahead, brother.
I don't know this friend, but how old is she?
35.
35. What is she? She have kids?
She from Waco. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh well,
She in hoop jargon.
I backed off.
Yeah. No, she got her mind right. She just struggles with certain little things, man.
Yeah. No, I was gonna see what the profile was to kind of figure out, since I didn't know who it was, but I think I do now. But,
No, and she's solid. Like that's the homie.
Right.
Even still, with her locked in, she still struggles with that part when you're not understanding the totality of this shit. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm representing, not throwing in the bus. But we had this conversation a lot. Go ahead.
No, I was just more so saying, like, what is the end result she's looking for, versus what she's doing to get it. So, but that's a different discussion.
It's a different discussion. Yeah, I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on
this.
Amanda.
She's back. So
yeah. So let's go.
Effort. I feel like the most of you
Are you serious?
I do feel like you're serious.
That I don't put in effort?
I mean, the way that you're talking, it doesn't seem like it. Like,
no, but she's right in a sense, because just what you guys are saying, most guys today, those 80% of guys that
you guys are used to it, so you guys just don't even put
there's more guys.
Hold on, used to what?
To not putting in effort. You guys are so used to women just falling at your side.
So I was born this way.
It's because the 23-year-olds matter, and
but you know what? But the guys, let's not get lost in this, because
and that's why I like Kevin Samuels' brand. He understands right now they get into bullshit gender war shit right now. This is fodder, is what you call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumbass tit for tat shit. And Kev understands the overarching point of this discussion, and he's redirecting, which is Donovan Sharp, with the guy with the red shirt on, who's a great content creator as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's even getting caught in this bullshit, and Kev understands the overarching point. I mean, and we talking about a 51-year-old. I think Donovan's probably like a 38, 35-year-old guy. All right. You know what I'm saying? So Kev has the, more of the overarching understanding of the conversation. Like, all right, y'all talking about some bullshit that don't need to occur. Let's get back to the overarching point. So I do want to point that out of what's going on with this situation.
Because when they can get into VIP by just being the hottest woman in the club, that's okay.
Why is that your only argument?
Yeah,
because it's the one that everybody understands.
Right.
Again, it's not about if it applies to your life. It's something that you understand as a standard. We're trying to set the parameters of what life exists at. And you're so hung up because you don't go to the club anymore. Congratulations. Good. But you understand the analogy. You know what I mean? So let's move forward.
Because it's the one that everyone understands. And I could use more. Trust me, I'm a smart guy. I can give you more. But the point of the matter is, it's the one we understand, and the double standard benefits you, you're okay with. What effort are women putting in today? Women still want men to move in a traditional way, but yet you're not traditional women.
All right. You know what time it is, y'all. Shout out to Jason Wu, whoever the fuck that is.
My boy Wu.
I'm confused how I'm asking men to act in a traditional way.
Yes, you want men to be traditional. I mean, most women. Okay, I run a show that has anywhere from 15 to 20,000 people watching every night. And women around the world consistently say they want a man that's earning in the high 5, low 6 figures. They want to have 2 to 3 kids and be married. Most women want the top 10% of men. You can go watch my channel and see this bared out. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, and other, across the board. All these women are given an option. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant? The answer comes back overwhelmingly no, meaning they want to be traditional.
You see baby to the right? You saw her shake her head when he said that?
Yeah.
that's a wife level woman. Look at what's going on, man. The backdrop, what's going on? Baby to the right is a wife level woman. Y'all peep game. She listening, and she knows who she is, and like, I'm cool with that. The other two, more so in the middle, is in a contentious fashion. Whereas, I'm ready to talk. So That's what's going on, man. Y'all peak, man. So when y'all deal with these women, understand how they respond to your words. Because as a man, in my opinion, you should always speak in the affirmative. And the ones that don't respond to that, no problem, baby. Have a nice life. You send them on their way. That's what you do when you picking the woman you want to be with, in my opinion. Sammy, what you got?
I'm just looking at these women in detail. Like you said, the one to our right, she feels that everything he's saying is what's in her soul. So she like, I knew it. You know, it's like
it's confirmation.
Yeah. The one in the middle, she like, I'm tired of hearing this bullshit.
Oh yeah.
She's struggling. The one to our left, she like, fuck, man, it sounds like you're right.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not giving up easy. But she's getting turned. You can tell because her shit went from like up on the mic to like and she gonna back up and start listening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm waiting for that to happen. The one in the middle, she like, I'm all right. Some of this you right about, but fuck that. I'm tired of hearing this shit. That's gonna be her fucking position. That's okay. The one to the left, she's getting turned. The one on the right, she ain't out of the way. So it's interesting to watch body language and nonverbal communication because it says so much. So yeah, good point.
There you go. And gentlemen, when you're in the dating world, notice how women respond to your words. Or if you're not talking, listen how women respond to general truth. That'll tell you everything you know, man. Free game.
Traditional stay-at-home housewives. They weren't raised that way. They weren't cultured that way. They're not even equipped to be that way. But yet, and if you ask them, could you date an average guy earning $50,000? Even women coming straight out of college turn their nose up. Men accept this. Excuse me, man. Men accept it. Can I finish my example?
Today you said he's making $80,000 and that wasn't enough.
Okay, so men accept this. Men accept the fact that college men.
And I want to say this: baby girl on the left is feeding off of the one in the middle, so she's kind of empowering her a little bit. You notice she looks at her to get validation. So that's what's going on. If you took the middle chick out the mix, she would be more receptive to the message. But she's feeding off her girl power energy. Just peep game.
Men accept the fact that they're in school right now with women their own age that 80 years ago they could have married and had a family early on. Now they're looking at these same women, and these same women would not even look at these guys unless they're making six figures. Men have accepted the unfairness in the marketplace. It's not fair for men. 18 to 30, men used to could get married. Now you can't even really consider getting married till you're 35 plus because you have to have resources. That's the new marketplace. Yep. The thing is, but let me finish. Let me say this, and I'll turn it over. Men have accepted that and adjusted. The difference is the women are not bringing in. Women in mass are bringing this. Ask them what you want, you get War and Peace. Ask them what you bring to the table.
My bad. Go ahead, brother.
What I just tell you is gonna happen. She's in. Look what her body language is now.
Oh yeah. Okay, damn. Okay, no, I know. See, her face says, "I know what to do now."
That I didn't, and I'll tell you, I didn't know. I ain't watched this video like that. I didn't know that was gonna happen, but I could tell because she went from up front to here, and now she like, okay, I'm all the way locked in now. I'm hearing what you're saying. She ain't gonna have a lot of responses after this. That's gonna go against what he's saying. What up, T Dot?
Baba T Dot, what's good, G?
Yeah, that I just wanted to point that out when it happened. She went from here to here, like, all right, I'm paying attention, and it sounds like you might be right. Let's see what it goes. Yeah.
Table, you can't write it on the back of a stamp. You get access to my body, which is not virgin, which is not even low miles, which you've given to somebody before, and in some cases, you've even shared your womb. You're not even really feminine like women used to be. You don't even have the domestic skills, the home skills. So is it I would submit today that modern women are asking for an unfair deal from modern men.
So we should go back to 1950 and make it more fair.
There she goes. She sets the margin to an unrealistic standpoint so you can jumble the message. That's what she's consistently gonna do. So we're gonna go back to 1950. So you all the shit he just said about people being on an equal wavelength, and you're gonna see she's gonna ratchet that up because that's the only level she delves into. And so I hope y'all appreciate this. I mean, we wanted to make this 30 minutes, but I think this is a more nuanced conversation. This is a 30-minute interview, so it's probably gonna go an hour plus. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all appreciate that, man, and y'all respect. I feel I'm doing y'all a disservice if I don't break down what's going on as I perceive it as a person who I get paid for a living to break down what people say and do, body language and all that shit. What you got, bro?
No, absolutely. You can keep it going. You got it. You hit the nail on the head. That's where her reality is and the way she perceives things. So that's what she want to take it back to because that's what she's comfortable with.
There you go.
She's drowning and she feels it. So what she's gonna have to start retreating soon because that's the only way she's gonna be able to save any kind of face on her platform, you know. But we'll see how she does it. And the other one over there to the left again, she's in, but she's trying to find a way to get back up to this point. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see how she do it because she's anxious, but she know that like she's conceited by doing this, but she's anxious to get back up and get in it. I'm gonna see how that works out. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Well, I tell you what's happening is the men have accepted this and they're deciding to, I am either not going to play this game because I cannot earn what these guys around you are earning. And they're just opting to walk away. And the men who are earning that have an overwhelming amount of options. They have a plethora of options. Men in the top 10%, top 5%. I'm 51 years old and I can pick whatever I want because women all want the same kind of man. And if you have options just like you're not going to do what? Settle. Men didn't make the marketplace this way, ladies. You fought for it to be this way. This is freedom. Freedom comes with responsibility.
Clearly not for men.
No. See, when men were paying the bills, when we had the old system, men were expected to fight the wars, dig the ditches, build the buildings, pay all the bills. And when a divorce or something happened, men had to pay. Now women fought for equality, so you get upset when you deal with 50-50 mindset men.
No, I mean, I'd rather be an independent, rich woman and be single than to be stuck with a man who doesn't give a shit.
And I would rather pay more than half of the bills.
Absolutely.
Lies. And this is that self-righteous bullshit that a lot of women delve into when they feel like they're being attacked. It's like more or less. So when I'm in sales, when I call somebody out for their bullshit, I can buy everything in here. I can afford all this. You can't, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing. So basically your core is getting attacked. So you're going to go grandiose. When in reality, when you with somebody, modern women, you don't want to have the lion's share of bills. So potentially they're right. I'm sure they earn great money. But from a standpoint of being with somebody else, you don't want to take the lion's share of the bills because what's going to happen when you do that? Well, you're in my house, you can get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? It's that self-sabotage shit that occurs with that. So they're being disingenuous just so they can win the argument. And that's that sign language shit. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. You want to win the argument, but you're not trying to understand the totality of the perspective. Go ahead, bro.
I see it. I definitely agree with that, but I see what they saying differently. When she screamed out, and I told you she was waiting on the way to get in.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I rather do this, and then it's rather that than what? Than to be cheated on. She wouldn't rather do that than have somebody a man. You know what I'm saying? She'd rather do that. The alternative is getting cheated on. That's what she's basing it off of. You know what I'm saying?
Her mind. Yeah.
So true. It's true for her that she'd rather do that because that's what she'd rather do than get cheated on. But that's not the only two ways it can go. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she's operating out of, and that's why she's so fired up about it because that's what she truly believes. So I know where she's coming from. It's still based in. It's not reality. You know what I'm saying? It's just her perception of it, which is her reality, but it's not in total. It's not reality. So I don't know where it's going to go after this and what they're going to say. So let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Absolutely, exactly.
Okay, first off, you said you'd rather be in it, and if that's what you choose to be, great, you can do that. That's choice.
And
And you can do that.
Exactly.
But the thing is, but the funny thing is, you would think that, and especially in my community, strong, independent, such and so forth, the amount of women who are high earners, independent, and miserable is amazing. Halle Berry, once the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet, 3 times in a row, is complaining about child support.
One more time for your mind.
Are you ready to step up your ball game?
Nope. I'm ready to get off my TV screen.
Performance.
Yeah, right now.
Decision.
Thank you, Caruso.
She's beautiful. She's miserable. How about this? There used to be a time where men and women actually did not war with one another. We didn't have these contentious things. We accepted that men were men, women were women. We acknowledged each other's differences. We respected those things and let the world work.
So he gonna lose baby in the middle because I guess we perceive she's a transgender woman, so she does not understand this spectrum,
right?
As we perceive it. So let us notate that as we move forward.
In the last 70 years, we've decided let's rejigger everything. It's not working.
And you could rape your wife, and she didn't have any right.
Going extreme. That is when you set parameters that you actually can have anecdotal evidence or statistical evidence, you go extreme to break the barrier, and that's juvenile. It's a juvenile tactic. I will say that. You got anything before we go forward?
It's not just to break the barrier; it's to evoke emotion, and that's what she's trying to do, and get some compassion from people that can relate to that type of situation. So. Rape your wife. All of the wives that have been raped before, they're gonna be like, that's a trigger for them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They automatically have to be on her side of whatever she's saying, based off of that trauma that they've experienced. So is like you said, it's a fucked up, childish and juvenile thing to do, but that's what people do when they lose it.
So in short, she's setting like a verbal landmine to try to extricate the logic that's going on and reset the whole conversation again from an emotional standpoint, and that is a common tactic for people who do not have leverage in a debate. So that's what's going on, guys.
Yep.
Right, and you could beat her.
Now, what's going on, guys? Is the sign language that goes on again. This is when they go to the horror stories in the Black community. We call this the color purpling of Black America. Ms. Seeley, these things could happen, sure, but they did not happen in mass. You did not go to suburbia and see women's eyes hanging out of their socket.
I highly disagree with you. Okay. I mean, raping your wife was such a huge deal. It didn't even get.
I said eyes.
So if I was Kev, I'd be like, okay, so tell me how raping your wife was a big deal then. Tell me factual data that shows that was a thing back then, or is that something that you made up in your mind? Again, we're assuming she's transgender, so your mind, you have gender disassociative, I forget what they call it, disease, where you just disorder. So tell me how you have factual data to tether that mentality to how people really were. I would, if I was Kev, I would have hit her with that shit. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, I think he understands that she does not have any, and it's not worth wasting any time on it because they on a show like that, you know what I'm saying? So he don't want to make it too long, but I feel like if she was on his show that he would have done that because you can't just keep spewing bullshit without nothing to back it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people do a lot of the times. They tell you what they think is real and can't back it up with any factual evidence. You know what I'm saying? You really dive into it. It's like, well, I thought it was. I'm like, no, you can't. You can't base your argument off some shit you thought was true. You know what I'm saying? With nothing to back it up. And people do a lot. Like when I sit in these sessions and break it down, they do that a lot. They like, well, and then a new reality comes in place. You know what I'm saying? And then they have to operate from that space. So it's interesting to see it done time and time again because people don't realize that they do it. Like, and that's why people say things like, you feel like you always right. Well, I am. You know why? Because I don't talk about shit that I don't know. I'm not going to put myself in a position to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to debate opinions. Facts are facts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm always right. And I'm not going, if I don't know something, I'm gonna say I don't know and I'm gonna learn it. But yeah, you're supposed to be always right. Don't put yourself in a position and leave room for error like that. That's what men do. She's not doing that shit. She setting herself up and hoping that it lands. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, she just throwing punches, all kind of combinations, and hoping they land.
Up, and she's punching up. You're not punching down from a vindication standpoint. You're punching up, trying to gain validation. And that's when you're punching up, you're damn near 90% in the wrong if you're punching up.
Right. But yeah, that's what I got. Keep it rolling.
So when you say your sessions, though, I want to make sure we put a capstone on that. What do you mean by your sessions?
In my coaching sessions. So if it's life coaching or relationship coaching, it's all the same. It's always the same issues. It's somebody that's not dealing in reality. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit back and listen to what they got going on, you take notes and then you go back over it and you ask questions, straight questions. And you know, if they don't give you straight answers, then it's some bullshit involved. But you tell them that up front, like, hey, I need straight answers. I asked you a straight question. That's where you get to the issue at hand. But then you find out that, you know what, this didn't happen like you thought it happened. And that's important to always know. You know what I'm saying? So you have to actually ask them details of what happened, how it happened. And people will say things like, oh, I don't remember exactly, or I thought it was this way. Like, well, so how are you profiling this man off of what you thought happened versus what you know happened? That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? And this is possibly why you're here. So in those sessions, that's the sessions I'm talking about.
Okay, and I just want to give context that he does have people who pay him for his opinions on such matters. So that was the whole point of that. All right, moving forward.
It's hanging out of your socket. You talking about, I'm not going to use that word because I'm on somebody's platform.
Right.
Can we not use that word though?
Because
can we not use that word? It's YouTube sensitive.
I'm sorry, what word?
The R word.
Or spelled backwards.
It dings the platform.
Okay.
I'm not rejecting the concept.
But
yes, ma'am, it happened.
Right.
But ma'am, but what you're trying,
I think that world was better for me.
Okay, well then if the world is better for you, then accept the things that come along with a better world.
I just think that everything you guys are presenting are opinions and they're not facts.
Well, actually, there are more facts than you want to deal with because all I deal with based on facts.
There are things that you guys want to say are facts.
Okay, ma'am.
Statistics that show me this.
Here we go. Okay, ma'am. My show, all I deal with facts and statistics.
Women that are happy in their environment, knowing they're being cheated on, knowing these things are happening to them, and you find them for me.
How many women we have?
Excuse me, hold on. Let me ask the question again.
You go find these women that are being happy, being cheated on. They're happy.
No
and
excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. I can go. I'll let you know. I can go out to where I used to live in Dallas in Highland Park. I knew at least 6 of them. 6 of them because they were. Excuse me, ma'am.
And that have been in.
So before we end this thing, he's about to go into like a. So she posed the question about these women who are not happy with the engagements dealing with a high value man, and he's about to give her an example, and you're gonna see how he's gonna shred through her bullshit, giving a real life example. You know, so I wanted to highlight that as we move forward.
Excuse me, if you let me explain to you, I will.
You're not letting me finish my thought, and then you
asked the question. You asked the question. Go find these women, and I'm going to tell you where I found them.
And I want to say, for those who don't know where Highland Park is in Dallas, that's like the equivalent, like Beverly Hills of Dallas. That's like upper crust, high end Dallas. So I'm in sales. That's literally why I used to sell that. I've been in LA for a year. Before I left, that's why I used to sell that. And so what he's saying is 100% true from a real life application standpoint of what I perceive and what I know. Let me just say that.
My thought was over. I said in successful marriages.
Okay, in successful marriages.
10 years later,
and they're still married. Still married. There was a soccer. The soccer mom. Okay. Do you want to hear or not?
Well, I mean, I just don't. I would.
You see, I could give you the example, and you still won't accept it because there are some women who accept the fact that, you know what, if I want to have a man that's making $400,000-$500,000 a year, that kind of living, he's not going to be able to go to the PTA meetings. He's going to have to work his butt off and maybe travel a lot. And guess what? They have an arrangement. But guess what? As long as you don't bring in home any outside babies, no diseases, and don't embarrass me in public, we're good. Guess what? She can also do what she wants to do as well. And they have an understanding because when the marital rate in this country, the divorce rate in this country is over 51%. But when you cross a net income of $250,000, it drops to 20% because people with more money got more reasons to stay together, and they find a way to do it all the time.
That's crazy.
This is Paramount Plus. This is investigators.
Man, these
Defenders
commercial breaks killing me, man.
and
7 strangers picked them into their house.
this is Young Spot.
They did
SpongeBob.
that. They did that themselves.
Hold on.
But
Hold on. You talking over the commercials. Hold on. All right. All right, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying they did that themselves. Put those breaks in there like that. As many.
Yeah. All right, let's move forward.
I respect your opinion because
That's
at
a
least
fact.
it's fair. At
That's
least
a fact.
people get to have a part of a deal instead of just men get to cheat and women are going to sit at home and deal with it.
What I just gave you was a fact that anybody can look at.
Well, but again, I'm more okay with what you're saying. You're telling me it's going both ways, not just one.
AKA, I like facts when it suits my position best.
I'm telling you, it always has gone both ways. But the way you guys are set up is it's always women are the victims. And that's that feminism crap. I don't think women are victims. I think women can pick and choose. I think there are plenty of women like Melania Trump to choose to be married to a guy like Donald Trump and knew exactly what she was getting, was perfectly fine with being where she is. That's a choice.
I don't think I've ever said.
Trigger alert. You bring up Donald Trump, you're going to trigger feminists. Well, and black dudes too. I'm not putting women just in this. Dudes act like Trump is the devil. I'm like, I don't like Donald Trump. I don't care about him. But you bring up Trump, everybody think that, that's an antichrist. Let's proceed forward.
Sat
She
here
is
and
the
claimed
worst.
to be a victim.
Yeah, she is the worst. I mean, she's probably the best example because I'm not a Trump fan, but like she's
She the worst or the best? Which one, baby?
the worst example to bring into that because it's like she's not.
She
like,
had the freedom to choose, and she chose.
she did.
So are you going to negate her choice?
Absolutely. She wasn't an American. She made her choices based on.
Oh, listen to that, gentleman.
See how the goalposts move? That's a woman who chose her man, 71-year-old retarded Donald Trump. And you're trying to negate it saying, oh, she's an American citizen. No, she chose, which a lot of women, they don't like this comment, but mostly you're hypergamous, meaning you're looking for the best deal, the best situation you can get for where you are in life. So she's attractive. You get an older man who has resources, who has power. That's how the shit works. It's, for the most part. Now, every woman is subjected to this, but hypergamy is a very, very pervasive thing in the dating world. So it's funny how understanding that's how the world works, how they will reject this because they don't like Donald Trump and not understand reality as it stands. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with them doing that. Why would you not want to get the best deal available for you? It's crazy not to. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fault them for that, but own it. You have to own it, and that's where the signals get crossed. And a lot of people don't want to own the fact that that's what they're doing. Like, yes, I'm trying to get the best deal. Why would I not? You know,
just own it.
Yeah, and that's okay. But people don't want to. They don't want to own it. They don't like. No, I'm looking for this and that. No, you're looking for the best deal. If you're not crazy, and you need to own that. You know what I'm saying? And crazy people don't know they're crazy. So. That's a different thing, but own the fact that this is what you're doing. That's what we're doing. We're not going to go out and have, all right, say you got two options. One is the best deal. You know it's the best deal. And then you got this one. I ain't going to take the best deal. I'm going to go with this one. Why? Why would you? You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing, man. Bro, you have an attractive woman you with. I have an attractive woman I'm with.
Right.
We look for the best deal based on various factors. Now, you're not going to hold out forever because you hold out forever, you know what I'm saying? Study long, study wrong. You know, so you got to understand timing with expectation, and you got to know when to hit. Just like when you play the stock market, you hold the stock too long, that bitch dip on you, and that money you had at one point is null and void. You know what I'm saying? The dating market is the exact same way, man. And so it's funny how people act like they are unaware of this. But it's everything in life, they all meld together. They all meld together, man. Shout out to Tracy Wells, man. This is tough for the females with the faux female to hear. The faux female, that's funny. They coddled their whole life. Yeah, because women are generally handled with kid gloves. And they don't like to admit it, but in general, they are handled with kid gloves. And so what happens is when you approach 30, most people, they stop being nice to you and they tell you what it really is. And what you see is a lot of women that they're not ready to accept that, man. Let's finish this bad boy out.
Gentlemen, fairness. See, this is what it is. This is selective feminism. It's feminism only when it goes with what I think. Thank you for proving my point.
I would like to make a point, actually. So if we brought up that plenty of Colombian women run game on white guys in Miami for citizenship, we would act like they're victims.
No, I wouldn't.
Guys.
I wouldn't.
What the fuck they got to do with the prostitute in China, man? And that's what bad debaters do. You throw out some random shit, like we just said. Throw it against the wall and hope it stick. That is such a irrelevant point to what the overarching conversation has been. And it's just crazy she throws that out there so cavalier. That's crazy, man.
Nah, I have nothing for that. Go ahead.
Melania Trump does
Exactly, bro. Come on.
the same thing.
No, I wouldn't.
Citizenship. She gets some cash. She gets what you are perceiving as
She got a deal. So let me explain. Let me say something, guys. Let me explain something to you ladies. What men and women have always done is not worried about the Western notion ideal of marriage. What men and women have traditionally done is sat down and negotiated and hammered out a deal. And that's what they do. You hammer out a deal. Melania Trump got a deal. She is not a prisoner. She could have chosen to leave. This is a free country. If Donald Trump wanted her to stay and she wanted to leave, she could have. She chose to be there.
Yeah, but we're not all like Melania Trump.
And that is not a valid argument.
No,
but it is, though, because
it's not. Because we're not, that's not a valid argument. I'm saying the fact that there are women who make choices that you don't understand, but they're free to make them and happy in those situations.
But again,
I'm sorry, I gotta keep stopping it. It's not what he said. He's not saying you are Melania Trump. He's saying with the terms you negotiate, these are the outcomes that you can have in that fray. That is the dating market. Not saying, oh, you're Melania Trump. That's not what he's saying. And so what I've come to understand with this shit is everybody does not have a certain level of intellectual propriety, meaning everybody don't understand complex shit. Right. Some people only understand basic examples, and that's just what their reality is. Because I mean, bro, you know it like I know it, man. That's why I don't listen to a lot of pro athletes, even though sports is like I love that, like a fat kid love cake. A lot of my sports friends were the dumbest motherfuckers in school. So when I see them on Facebook now talking about intricate shit, because I was a guy, I took GT classes, I took advanced classes. So I was good at sports, but I didn't take classes with a lot of my teammates. Mm-hmm. So when I see these niggas get introspective, quote unquote, I'm like, nah. That's just how you understand life at this point. That's fine. But there's a lot of deficiency there. So I think there's the same thing maybe afoot of what we're talking about right now. But go ahead, bro.
No, I agree. Again, she's in a backpedal mode and trying to find some ground to stand on. The other one, she hit a point like she was triggered by the Melania Trump thing. And
oh, for sure.
Yeah, and he's right though. It's a deal. If those women in Colombia are coming here, you know, and getting married for citizenship, like the men are getting some out of the deal too. They're getting a wife that's gonna come here and be the wife that they need. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you would go and get somebody from a foreign country like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna go get somebody that you can go find in East Dallas. If you know what I'm saying, you just go get them in East Dallas. You know, so it's I don't know why that's triggering for them, or why that's a problem for them, or why they feel like that's unfair, but they do. They sincerely feel that, and that's interesting. So let's go. Let's carry on and see where it goes.
Yes, sir.
Again, you're talking about choices that are going both ways, when what I have been getting annoyed with is there is no sense of fairness, and that's what exactly
there is no fairness in dating, ma'am. That's what you don't seem to get. There's no fairness in this. All's fair in love and war. This is not fair. It's survival.
I'm glad I know now. I just got a lot of empowerment.
Now that I heard everybody's opinion here, it's like I don't even want to date. Like I do.
I'm
gonna be
Don't date them, motherfucker.
I'm gonna be even more exactly. It's women.
But understand something, and you can do that. But here's the thing,
man.
and that's fine. But here's the thing, and the thing, and while you're running game, the game will be played as well. That's fine, and men are okay with that. See, men are okay with the women.
Okay with that though?
Ma'am, you ladies set up the rules. We are playing the game that modern women have set up.
So Kevin, and I don't know if you heard it, but again, one of the things that's bothered me is that again, it's men can do this, but women can't.
Such as
the cheating thing. Well, if you're the 1% of men, then you get to do.
Again, she's hung up on this one thing, and that is all. So all this stuff has been discussed, and in between this, she's like la 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 la. All she want to talk about is cheating, and I know women who I consider my friends around her age who think the same way. That's all they caught up on is cheating. They're not caught up on nuance, things that make couples work. They caught up on that one thing, and that's a reactionary thing. Mostly when people cheat, it's a reactionary thing. So you're not interested to know on the front end what it brings. You're just interested in the outcome of what cheating represents. And I think, my opinion, you will never deliver yourself from that stasis, meaning stagnation, meaning you're stuck in that place if you don't understand big picture. Go ahead, bro.
No, I agree. I don't understand why cheating keeps coming up because that's not even the topic.
Never was a topic.
Yeah, but that's the thing that they harping on is cheating. And I was having this conversation the other day, like, you cannot control cheating. You can't control what somebody else does. And you have to be okay with that. That's the only way you get rid of your insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be okay with the fact that you trusted somebody with your heart and in your situation. And that's that. With trust comes vulnerability. And you got to understand that you're not going to control what they do one way or the other. You can only be the best you. And if that's not enough for them, it's nothing you can do about that.
So be it.
So it is what it is, and as an adult, you got to understand that. And hopefully you find somebody with the moral values that you have, and y'all have an understanding, and y'all can keep that together. But cheating is not as an outlandish thing as people think. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a disconnect, and somebody went another way that didn't communicate it effectively. You know what I'm saying? Like, or at all. That's what it is. Cheating is only cheating because they didn't tell you about it. You see? So that's that, but I don't understand why we're talking about cheating because that is not the subject at hand right now. And she keep bringing it back. Her and the other girl, they keep ushering that back in. So,
because I mean, apparently that's all the crux of their position is. They want to talk about that instead of the actual subject at hand about fairness, which is supposed to be about.
Right.
All that in their mind means is cheating. But again, I can't get mad at them because I know real life friends who do this same shit. Cheating is the crux of everything. And it's like so many things go into a relationship beside, being adulterous or what have you, or however you want to, define that cheating. So much more goes into a relationship, man. I know so many great men and women who had relationships outside of their bond that still, at the end of the day, upright as an upstanding, accomplished person, being married. So that is just reality. So I think when people get past that Western construct of what like monogamy is and understand like the grand scheme of what life really exists, then you have a full scope of like what a successful marriage, a successful bond really is. So I do want to impart that as we go forward.
Absolutely.
To do this, and it's because women show love differently and blah blah blah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if you're with a 1% man and you're cheating, you better not get. If you need to know your man.
Neither are
some men. I would say this: I know men in the 1% whose wives have. What do you think the porn where she's sleeping with the pool boy, the postman, came from? Women cheated. The Postman Rings Twice was a very famous movie in the 70s. Ladies, there are some men who understand their wives cheat. There are just rules to it.
But again, I like that you're telling me we're setting a plan up front, because that's not what's been being said
That's
here.
always what it comes down to.
He loves you. He ain't gonna let you know he's
There
cheating.
is something that comes down when there is some man on the planet that you can actually make a deal with that you can accept. Now the point is, can you find him before time runs out? But that's how it all.
Can you find it before time runs out? God damn, Kev. Fuck.
Always comes down to. There are blanket generalizations that are broadly true for most people. But we're human beings. Everyone has a choice. Some guys cannot tolerate any cheating. Well, then if you need to get your itch scratched and you know what you got on the line, you got to weigh the risk reward. Because if you want to risk it,
aim lower, I guess, lower your expectations. Because
you probably should. You probably should.
Yeah, but nobody said that.
Well, I'm fair enough. I'm humoring her because women like her think that it's all or nothing. Like, oh well, I guess I got a load. Yeah, you maybe should. Maybe you're not as high as you think you are. Maybe your sexual marketplace value is not as high as you think. Yeah, maybe you should.
Fair.
And then the word you said fair was what this whole thing is about. So maybe you should be more fair about where you rank in the marketplace. You think you're hot shit. I mean, because you mix. Some dudes may think that's hot shit, but you live in Miami. It's a very competitive market. There are a lot of women who look way better than you. So maybe you should temper your expectations based on where you live. Now you live in Alabama, you hot shit in Alabama. In Miami, there's a lot of women who got your ethnicity kind of thing going who look way better than you, aka the girl to the right. Who's a lot more cooperative. Just saying.
Because if you're dating, above the 1%, then you might get somebody that's not going to fucking cheat, right?
Well, hold on. And see, the notion of this whole aim lower, this is why when women say this, I don't think you realize that people, I don't think a lot of times you ladies understand when you say aim lower, you're in that lower too.
Silence.
I don't aim lower. I'm not going to aim lower. I'm just going to stop
something I
being
just
such
put
a nice
out there.
person.
But the fact that here's some realities. Women control access to sex and determine whether or not a life is brought into the world. Men control access to relationships and marriage. So you can aim whatever you want to, but unfortunately, men across the board, low value to high, control access to relationship. That's what we control. So this is what I was saying earlier. Ladies, across the board, you can have your standards, your point of view, but when it comes right down to it, the way you guys were talking is if you had leverage over the kind of men that was in the discussion. You don't. Those men have leverage over the women. You're not competing. You're competing with the women around him. Everything that you ladies are saying, I won't tolerate this, such and so forth. There are plenty of other women to be like, shit, okay. Fine.
Look at the distance from the mics, though. Look at the distance from the mics. Which is good. They're learning right now, so that's a good thing.
Look at their body language.
Yes, like, oh shit, I never considered that. That's good.
Fine. What else? Is that it? No problem.
Saying we're not 1% like they are?
I'm saying that there are more women wanting them than there are men.
No, bitch, you're not at 1%. No, you're not. Halle Berry's 1%. J-Lo's 1%. Rihanna's 1%. You are not. Sorry.
There's 1%. That means 99% aren't. And almost 100% of women want the same 1% of men. The Petro principle.
Oh, yeah.
There are more women trying to, okay, you've all been into a club at some point in your life. There's a regular club and there's VIP. The guys who are in VIP are looked at differently than the guys who are standing online.
That's not fair, Kevin.
Well, what the guy...
Man, this nigga ain't lying, dog. When you get in VIP, dog. I'm going to share this quick story with y'all. So when I was 25 years old, about 25, I was in VIP at Belvedere Club in Houston. And Rayford Austin, Skip Tamalu, he played for the Rockets at the time. I was in VIP with him. And I wasn't making no money at the time. I was making like $17,000 a year. I ain't making no money. But I was at my athletic peak. You know, I'm 6'7" in real life. I know I look like a little motherfucker on this shit. I was chiseled at the time, making no money. Well, you know, I was in the club with my blazer on and shit that I had to like really like think about before I bought. You feel me? And I remember this beautiful chocolate woman, man, in the club, and I was so gassed because I was in that situation in VIP, and I've never done this since then. Whether now I make great money, I would never consider doing that. I looked at her like, get your ass over here. And you know what? And you know what she did? She got her ass over where I was at, bro. And I had a girl at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was on my grimy shit. And she was so engulfed with what I had going because I'm with Ray for Austin, an NBA nigga. We had bottles on deck. You understand what I'm saying? She just was so engulfed of who I represented based on the VIP situation I had going. I could pull rank better than I could right now when I make over $100,000 because I don't care about that anymore. But at that time, being young, off of somebody else's clout, I told her like, "Come here," and that motherfucker came there. And so much so, she told me like the next day, man, I had to get rid of her, man. She was like, "I want to spend money on you." I guess she thought I was an NBA player too. I mean, I'm tall, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "All right, what you mean?" And she just said some weird shit after that. I can't remember exactly. I remember being in the car with my chick at the time.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Bro, you." And then she was like, I was like, "Man, listen, man, lose my number. I'm good." No, I ain't letting you go that easy. These are her words. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, it's a true story. So that's what Kev is talking about, man. It's one thing when you come into the regular line, another thing when you're in the VIP section, you look like you somebody, you get treated differently. And that's an analogy we all understand. I know you, Sammy, you in club like that. That's something I did hard body back in my day. So that is so prevalent to how reality is, man. And so I just want people to understand he's just not talking out his ass. You know, Kev's 51, I'm 37, but we still understand the same situation. I want to say that.
Guys in VIP had to make. See, the thing is, one thing that most women don't seem to realize, and it's very simple. Women are born with inherent value. So they really can't understand the concept that we men have to deal with, that we have to make ourselves valuable. So when men hear that we have to make ourselves valuable, we accept the world as it is, and we don't sit back and say, well, it's not fair. We just deal with the world as it is. Here's the principle. Women can never objectively understand the male journey and struggle, so don't try to explain. In general, they see everything through rose-colored glasses, being born with inherent value. You earn all of your value as a man, and it's your greatest opportunity that you could hope for. Women are born with value, men are not.
Y'all had your struggle. The women are still struggling right now.
I was gonna say it's
Clearly,
way harder to be a woman than a man.
I said value, ma'am. I said value.
She missed the whole premise. Because again, she's not actively listening. She's listening to respond. He said nothing about what she talked about. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And she missed a whole boat on that conversation because she's not actively listening. So, ladies, if you want to retort, if you feel like Kev is not on his square, you feel like he's out of pocket, listen to what he says and rebuttal what he says exactly. Don't have your own emotional response ready because you're not ever going to win. You never will win with that approach because it's, to be frank, it's juvenile. It's not responsible. It's just you being emotional. And y'all need to understand how men perceive your logic if you take that approach.
Right.
Yourselves like
No, you went to how hard it is. I said value.
Nobody's feeling sorry for themselves here.
I said value. Are you so
you're entitled to something better because your struggle has been harder.
No one. See, men don't think we're entitled to anything. That's why we said don't even. No, what I said was men should not try to explain.
If you weren't entitled, you wouldn't sit here and tell me I don't deserve the same.
No, yeah, you can knock the sign language off. It doesn't work on me. What I was saying.
That's how you deal with that. ladies, fellas, when somebody's trying to do what they call ad hominem attacks, you dismiss that shit and move forward. That's how you do it. You don't, because she wants a scrum. A scrum basically mean like you wrestle in the mud. That's what she wants because she has no basis to her argument. So she just wants to win the insult game. That's what she wants to do. Kev's like, yeah, all right. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And that's how you do debate, man. When you start personal insults, that's when you lose.
Yep.
And so I just want to impart that on everybody who's watching this shit, man. Thank y'all for y'all 3 live who's still watching and those who will watch after. This is how you win a quote unquote debate, or at least this is how you impart your actual ideology on the debate and walk away righteous. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
No, you just stick to the script. They come in with that, like it, keep moving. That's just what it is. And he did that effortlessly. So she, like you said, she want to battle. She want to find a way to come out of this and with some kind of victory, and that's not gonna happen. So
yep. And what you're gonna see once she got so Kev basically verbally bitch slapped her, and you're gonna see what she does after this. Watch.
Saying is, men should not try to objectively articulate your struggle and journey to be a man because women are born with inherent value. See,
Kevin, she stopped listening. It's.
I know, and I'm about to run, but I'm gonna say this for the audience. Thank you for having me on, guys. And these are valuable back and forth because what needs to happen more often than not is women who have these strong beliefs.
Look who's listening and look who's dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
Look who's listening. Look who's dismissive. Mm-hmm. Even baby to the left, who had a little bit of fire in her, she's still listening, and she's away from her mic, knowing that you got no place to talk right now. And baby to the right, again, that's a wife level woman. Obviously, she's the best looking of the 3, and she's the most receptive to game. Just peep the undertones of what's going on.
Yep.
Just question their beliefs. Question why they believe what they believe, and then if it stands up, it stands up. If it doesn't, okay. But it's not. We're not being fair. We're not being rude.
All right, so a commercial about to come, but that's pretty much it. So we understand what's going on past this point, and that's just how the world works, man. And so I really appreciate y'all who've been tuning in, but we got to understand. And I'm not. And Sammy's a lot more trying to save everybody more than me. I just want this channel is geared to men. Just understand how the world works and navigate as such, so you're not lost in the mix, and you have this part of you that don't understand what's going on. You got to keep your head on a swivel. You have to be astute and understand where life takes you in certain navigatable points. So, anything you want to impart before we peace out, bro?
No, I just really appreciate the people that was on and the people that's gonna watch it. It's a long video, but it's worth it. If you're really trying to find some good information, and I think you made a lot of good points. But Kev, like he does, he said it. He did it how he's supposed to do it. I don't really oppose anything that he had to say. He did his thing, and when she laid it down, when she took them headphones off. So y'all can see how people do. That's how it's always going to be when you're dealing with people like that. So understand that and learn how to deal with them and move on, and don't waste your time. So appreciate y'all, and that's what I got.
Don't waste your time, man. So we're going to do another one in the next few days. Well, I'm off the next 2, so hopefully we can knock out 2 or 3 videos, man. Thank y'all for the who patronize the page. Share, like, subscribe, man. It helps out so much. We've only been this about a month or 2, month and a half, 50 subscribers. We think that's dope because to be frank, we have not been on our shit like we should be, but we're going to do it, man. We live busy lives. He got kids. I don't, but I got shit I got to do, but we're going to try to get back on our square, man. So we appreciate y'all. Till next time. Peace out, man.
Peace.
Yes, sir.